We are going to take a look today at how to create Fusion teams. Fusion teams help us when we collaborate and we want to share files and comments. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go here to myhub.autodesk360.com. So myhub.autodesk360.com. And it's going to ask us to log in. So we'll do that. So you'll enter your username and password. So this assumes that you do have an account. What I will do now is I'm going to go up here to my icon, and I want to make sure that I'm on my team. Right now, as Fusion stands, you can have a team and you can have a personal hub. This personal hub will not be here forever, so you want to go ahead and establish that team. My team is called Team Learn Fusion, so I'm going to make sure I'm there. So what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead now and click Create Project. I'll call this the Indiana team. And it does help to go ahead and give it, an icon. It does help to kind of keep things organized. You can actually upload your own as well. Now, for security, there are a few different types of security, and one of the best new ideas is the folder level. And that allows us to manage users at the folder level. So we could have a lot of people in our projects, but they only have access to certain folders. So that's really where most of your things are going to happen at the school level. So we'll go ahead and click folder level and we'll say create project. So now as we look, it says Indiana team here, and we're going to go ahead and check folder permissions. So we'll click folder permissions here. This is where we can go ahead and invite other users to our folders. All right, so I'm going to click invite, and I'm going to type in the emails of whoever I want to invite to this folder. When I'm done, I can either click the space or press the enter key. That will allow me to type additional emails in. For role, there are several roles. Viewer is probably the most secure. In other words, this person's only going to be able to view, post, and make some comments on things. So they're really more of a peer review kind of person. For the most part, our roles will be an editor. This allows us to make changes to files, upload and rename things. The manager and administrator are really the only two people that have access to kind of move users of the project around. So most of the time, you're just going to click editor. And then you'll go ahead and click send invitations. So you can see here, you can see that I've got this person in my group. So this is what the email looks like when it comes to the person. They're going to say, hi, so-and-so. Brian invited you to his team, and then what you'll need to do is you'll click join team. Now in this situation, I have had it in my classroom happen where I had to right click here and say copy link address, and then I had to open another browser to get this to work. This is what I was talking about with the error. So let's go back. I can right click on that and say copy link address. And then what I'm going to do is open up a different browser. So I'm going to go to Firefox, and I will paste in that link. And essentially it's going to say, hey, go ahead and log in now. All right. Okay. So now that I've officially logged in, I can see that I have access to this Indiana team. So I know I'm there. So if I click in there, because I'm an editor, I actually have permissions to go in here and change the files. Now this is nice. The online world is nice to look at, but we spend our time on the desktop version of Fusion. So let me show you what that looks like. So I'm going to go back to Fusion now. All right, so if I look at my owner account, there's the Indiana team, and you can see everything in there is it's blank right now, which makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start and just put a file in here so that we can see it. So I'll just start, and I'm going to make just a simple square. So it's going to be a 2-inch square. I'll go ahead and extrude it, and I'll make it a 2-inch cube. All right, so there's that 2-inch cube. I will go ahead and save it. And I want to make sure that the location is in the Indiana team. Okay, so again, this is from the owner. So this is the originator of it. So this is the person who created this project for us. Okay. Now I want to show you what it looks like from the other side. So I have signed in. I'm going to go up to the data panel, Right now I'm signed into my personal account, but if I click that, you can see that I actually have access now to Team Learn Fusion because I've been able to join that team. So if I click on that, then I'll be able to see what I've been granted access to, which in this case is that Indiana team. So I can click that project folder, I can open it up, and I can see there is the 2-inch cube. Now I'm going to go ahead and click that and open it up on my machine as well. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to get into sketch mode. I guess, you know what, let's click sketch and get in there. I think I'll just put like a circle and make just a simple cut in the middle. I'll extrude that, cut it through, and click OK. I will go ahead and save that because I made a change. Now here's something that helps, because you're going to have multiple changes going in. For the version description here, you might want to say added a cylindrical cut. And you'll click OK. Now you can see what it's got to do is it's got to upload that to our cloud. Now I want you to notice something. What's happened here is we started kind of working here, and the other partner, one of our other teammates, must have made a change, and I can tell that because right up here there is an indicator saying, hey, you need to get the latest version. So I'll click that, and you'll notice that they must have made a cut through there. Okay, so let's take a look and let's have them make one more change, and let's see what else happens. You notice over there on the left side in the browser area, it says data in this folder has been updated. Refresh. So let's go ahead and let's click refresh. And you can see here there's been a change made. It hasn't been reflected here yet, but if we look right here, if we click the update button, if we click that, now we can see that they've made changes here. So one of the things with this, we are not going to get instantaneous results. We're going to have to pay close attention over here, and it will tell us, it will say, hey, you've got some updates. All right. Now notice the history continually gets updated though. We can go back through here, just like any timeline, we can roll it back, we can press play, we can see everything that has occurred to this. Okay, so our finished product right now looks like that. Now you'll notice up here what's happening is this says 2-inch V4. Okay, when we opened it up, it was version 1, right? If we look over here in the browser, do you see how it says V4 right here? We can see what has changed. Like this was version 2 right here. So we could actually, we could click that and say open, and that will pull up just that version. Okay, so if we went too far, if we had a user that came in here and we made a blunder, we can always roll back. So we can come back here and say, well, I needed to do that where we just added the rectangular cut. We didn't want that polygon. So we can roll back and we can say, all right, there's where we had the circular cut and we had the square cut. So I'm going to go right there and I'm going to say open that version. So we still have these versions. Now, in this particular case, what we may have to do if we want to revert back to that is we may go back and we'll just do a file and we'll say a save as. We can also say save as the latest if we want to overwrite that.